This is part 3 of HR interview questions for freshers. This recording is being made at Dream Chasers, a training center in Chennai, India. We can be reached at 9941436511. Our website is www.dreamchasersindia.com. So if they ask you a question, what do you look for in your work? You should not be saying that it is money. Instead, you could say something like a challenging role, an opportunity to learn, recognition for performance. So it is not only about opportunity to learn, but you believe that you will perform well and you want recognition for performance. A congenial work atmosphere could also be said. A fair and impartial boss, if you want to say that. Otherwise, just restrict yourself to opportunity to learn, recognition for my performance, and so on. So you could say any of these things or a combination of these things. After saying this, and then you could always say that I'm also expecting a decent remuneration. So what do you look for in your boss? The person should be knowledgeable and he should be impartial. So these are the expectations that I have in my boss. I would also like it if he could be a mentor for me and help me become more successful in future. That would be a quality that I would really be very happy if my boss has. But as such, the basic qualities that I require, that I expect is that he should be knowledgeable and he should be impartial. Which is more important, money or work? Now, please don't answer your questions with just one word. Don't say money, don't say work. Instead, try to give a logical explanation for why you are choosing whatever you are choosing. So, for all of us, money is reasonably important, but what work we do is more important. That is why many people choose to get into computer science specifically. Even if they get some other jobs, they might leave it and go into computer science. So they love working in the field of computer science, and hence they go in. Though money might be important, I think a lot of people choose to be in the field where they will also enjoy their work. So what you should be saying is, sir, I believe that work is more important because I'm going to spend around 40 years of my life and the majority of the time in my office. So if I don't enjoy my work, I think I will not be really happy in life. So I think that work is more important for me. But I also believe that if I do my work sincerely and I enjoy my work, money will also come as a byproduct of my effort. So between the two, work is important, and then you could always say it with a smile. Apart from this, of course, sir, money is also important. So your answer should be something like this: that work is the most important one between the two, but the other one is also important. So if you and your boss disagree, what will you do? So never say I will change my opinion according to what the boss says, or that I will convince my boss. It's very easy. As I said earlier, always try to give a reason as to why you are choosing whatever you are choosing. So you could say something like, so it would depend on what we are talking about. If it is a professional area where the boss definitely would have more expertise than me, then I will definitely listen to what he says, go back and verify if what he says is right, and if what he says is right, I will definitely follow it. If not, I will come and ask him for clarifications and see how I can learn from that particular aspect. So obviously in the professional area, your boss will be far superior to you. So you should say that you would follow whatever he says, but if you disagree, you would go and ask with humility. But you should also say that if it is a personal area where I am having a strong conviction, then I will put forward my point of view with utmost respect, and I would try to engage in a fruitful conversation with him and try to convince him of my opinion. If he is able to give a logically correct answer as to why I am wrong, then I will change myself. Otherwise, I will definitely try my best to convince him. So your answer should be something like, in professional area I would listen to him, and if I have a disagreement I will definitely go back and try to sort it out with him. But if it is a personal area, I would definitely put forward my point of view, but you should always emphasize with utmost respect and try to convince him logically, not just keep saying the same thing again and again. How many hours would you like to work every day or something of that sort? So don't just give a number is just useless. Instead you could say that, sir, I want to become very successful, so for this I am willing to work very hard, so I will work harder than what most people would work. So don't give a particular number. You could also say that I will do whatever it takes to finish the job properly. So I want to work very hard, and I will be willing to work very hard. So I will do whatever it takes to get the job done. If it means I have to stay back for a longer time, I am willing to do that. So that should be your answer. You should not say that I will work for 8 hours, I will not work for more than 9 hours. Initially when you are a fresher, you have to prove yourself. Your academics and all are just an indication. After that you have to prove yourself in the company, for which you have to work very hard. It's not only a time where you have to prove yourself, it is also a time where you have to learn as much as possible, which will not happen if you don't work hard. So you should have that attitude that I am willing to work hard, and that should come forward when you are answering such a question. How do you react to pressure? Now when they ask you this particular question, you could say something like, so only the test of fire makes fine steel. I think that a certain amount of pressure is required to get the best out of a person, and I am the kind of person who thrives under that kind of pressure. But if it is crippling pressure, then I will take a break and then come back and handle it. So either ways, I am the kind of person who is willing to work under pressure and who is willing to take on challenging tasks and achieve it. You should have the confidence that you can take on challenging tasks. They want people who can take on challenging tasks, get things done. That is the kind of people whom they will not miss. And in all these answers that you give, there should be conviction in what you say. You should really believe in that. If you just go there with a rehearsed answer, it will clearly appear to be rehearsed, and rightly so. So you have to convince yourself that you are going to work very hard in the first few years, at least, to prove yourself and to learn as much as possible. So if you really believe in that, you could tell these things with conviction. What do you know about the company? So you should collect all the information regarding the company before you go to the interview. Things that you should know. When was the company started? Who started the company? Who was the founder? Who was the current CEO of the company? Who is the current chairman of the company? In how many countries is it present in? Where is the headquarters? How many employees are there currently, including BPO, excluding BPO? If you can get information on the how many are there in particular location, or the location where there are maximum number of employees, that could also be mentioned. Awards won in recent times, the profit, how much profit the company is making, how much revenue the company is making, what is the growth rate of the company, anything else for which it is in the news. Maybe they are going to start a new center, or they are going to move into something else, into a particular location, or into a new country or something of that sort. So any other thing that is in the news. And then if you can even get the information about the latest stock price, you can also say with a smile at the end that the current stock price is this particular thing. So of course you should know what a stock price means, and what is market capitalization and so on. So try to get all this information Write it down clearly, study properly, get the latest information about the number of employees, because what might be mentioned in the website might be 2 or 3 months old. So try to contact someone who is working in the company to get the latest information about the number of employees. See whether it's including BPO, excluding BPO. If you want to add more things, if you know somebody who is working there, which vertical is giving maximum amount of profit, or where the maximum amount of revenue is coming from, all those information if you can collect, that will also be useful. Write it down, rehearse it twice or thrice with your friends so that you don't miss out on any information that you have collected. What will you do if you are not selected? Now, don't just give an answer saying I will try hard again. So that is like this. It is not very impressive as such. Instead, you could give something like, so I worked very hard to get into this company. I've worked hard on C++, Java, and I've also worked on communicative skills and aptitude, and whatever you have studied, you could just mention that. So if I don't get selected, definitely I will be very disappointed. So that is for sure, because this is my dream job. But I will also look at it as an opportunity to learn. I'll go and talk to my mentors. I will go and talk to my seniors and ask them what could have gone wrong and in what areas I could have done better. I will look at it as an opportunity to learn, and then I will try hard again for the next company with much better preparation. So you are not just telling I will try hard, but rather you are saying that you would look at it also as an opportunity to learn, and you will use every failure also as a stepping stone or as a opportunity to learn. So that is something that should come out. It's just saying that I will try again next time and all is not very good. You could also be asked questions on logical reasoning puzzles, especially Infosys generally asks some 2 puzzles or something. What they are looking for is a structure to your answer, not necessarily the answer alone. So many people, if they are not able to get the final answer, say I am not able to solve. Instead, if you are not able to get the final answer also, you try to give a structure to your argument. How did you approach the particular problem? What are the options you have eliminated? So how are you closing in on the right answer and so on. So even if you don't get the final answer, if you can explain as to how you are proceeding instead of just keeping it in your mind, it might help you improve your chances, because they are looking only for people who are able to structure their arguments in the correct way, who are able to eliminate options and zero in on the answer. Because for many problems in real world, there is no particular correct answer, but the way you approach the problem might actually help you come closer towards solving the problem or reducing the effect of the problem. So that is how you will have to answer this particular question. Suppose they give you puzzles. Now there is a book called Who Moved Mount Fuji. You can possibly go through some puzzles that are asked, and you can also search the net for some puzzles that could be asked, or some of the questions they could ask might just test your thinking skills. One could be something like, if you are pointing a newspaper, if you are showing a newspaper in front of the mirror and you invert the newspaper, would you read from left to right or right to left to read correctly if the language is English? So of course you can always say that if it is English I will read from this, and if it is Urdu I will read from that direction, and so on. They could also ask you creative questions, questions like okay, a situation is there where you find a person who is on the ground and blood is coming out of his body. He is motionless and there is a bag nearby. So tell me 5 things that could have happened. So you could come up with some idea that he possibly fell out of a parachute. He was trying to jump, but the parachute did not open, or something of that sort, which will show your creativity and how you are thinking, how you can think about a situation. Or they could give you something like, tell me 10 uses of a pen cap. So you could possibly start off by saying, we can use the pen cap as a paperweight, we can use it as a plaything, you can use it to poke someone, or you can use it to as even a self-defense weapon, or you can use it for whistling. Or you could say that I will put some seed into it, put some sand into it, and pour some water and make it into a tiny flower vase. So you could come up with all sorts of creative ideas, but you should keep trying. You should not say I am not able to think anything, or this is all I can think. So you have to keep trying. That is what they want. Say they could ask you 10 uses of a stapler, so you could say that you can use it for drawing lines, you can use it for paperweight, you can use it for hanging clothes, you can use it as a self-defense weapon, or you can use it as a plaything, or you can use it to remove staplers. So there are so many things that you can come up with, but the most important thing is to keep trying. They could ask you a question like how do you use a tachometer to find the height of a building. So you could use your creativity and say I will keep the tachometer near the building and see the length of the shadow, and using trigonometric ratios I will be able to measure the height of the building. So you could say that at 45 degrees the length of the tachometer will be equal to length of the shadow, and then so using that ratio I would try to give my answer in tachometer units, not necessarily in meters because they didn't specifically mention it. Or you could say I will drop the tachometer from the top of the building and see the time it takes to reach the ground, and then using the formula S equal to ut plus half at squared I will calculate the height of the building, because that's the distance traveled by the tachometer will be equal to the height of the building. Or one of creative answer was I will use the tachometer to knock on the door, and whoever opens it I will ask them for the height of the building. So any sort of answer is acceptable, just that you have to use your creativity and you must try hard. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? First ask if 1 is low or 1 is high, and then suppose they say 10 is the highest. Don't just give a number 9 or 8. Anybody can give a number. So be very careful when you are answering questions. Don't just give random numbers and things like that. Rather you say that, sir, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate myself on different parameters differently. So in terms of communicative skills I would rate myself 7 on 10. In terms of technical knowledge I would rate myself 8 on 10. In terms of my creativity I would rate myself 9 on 10. In terms of my ability to focus I would rate myself 10 on 10. In terms of my determination I would rate myself 7 on 10, and so on learning ability. So you decide on 4 or 5 parameters that you want to mention, and on that you can say, and then overall I would rate myself 8 on 10 or 9 on 10. So that is how you should be answering this question. And if they counter it by saying I would not rate myself 8 on 10, I rate myself only 6 on 10, you could come back with an answer saying that, sir, I compared myself with people of my age, I am not comparing myself with everyone. So as such I am just a fresher, I am just entering into the corporate world and I have a lot of things to learn. So I am just comparing myself with people of my age. On that I would rate myself 9 on 10 or something of that sort. But as such I have a long way to go. So your humility should also show, and it should be genuine. So that is very, very important. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate me as an interviewer? Now, don't go and say that I will rate you 10 on 10, you are an extraordinary interviewer and all that. If he just says that, I think you have not done well, then it will be very bad. So what you can say is, sir, the interview has gone on well. We had discussions on my personal side, on also you asked me questions about what I want to do and so on. I think the interview has gone on well. So I think you are a good interviewer. And you could also say that, sir, this is one of my first interviews, so it will be very tough for me to rate you. I do not have the experience to do that. So that could be something you can tell. Do you have any questions? Now this is generally the final question that is being asked. There is a saying in Tamil, Nunalum tan vayal kedum, don't go and ask something stupid and show your ignorance at the last question. Be very careful about what you are talking about this particular question, because I have heard about people who have gone and asked, how did my friend do in the exam, in the interview, will she get selected? Don't bother about whether your friend is getting selected or not, because a lot of people, whether they get selected or not, if their friend gets selected and they don't get selected, that is more painful than if both of them do not get selected. So don't go and ask questions about your friend or something like will I get selected and all that. Instead you can ask something like, do you have mentorship program inside the company? Because I've had very good mentors in the past, and that is one reason why I've become successful. And if you have that mentorship program, that would be a very good thing. So you could ask something like that, or sir, our typical day, how does a typical day go? But if there had been a PowerPoint presentation earlier, then you should not be asking this particular thing, because mostly they would have explained it in the PowerPoint presentation itself. Or you could ask like, should I prepare anything before I join your company if I get selected? Say, should I work on Java or something of that sort if I get selected? So you could definitely ask something like that. Or you could ask like, do we have an opportunity to participate in other activities inside the company once we come into the company? So you could say that I am generally a good all-rounder, sir. I always believe in balance of life. Do you think we have something like that inside your company? So these could be some of the questions that you could ask them in the final question. If they ask you like, how do you rate your life as such? Do you consider your life a success? So I just want to say that whenever they ask you questions like this, I think you should be answering in the positive thing. You should say that, sir, I consider my life a success because I have so many things in life that a lot of people do not have. In terms of personal life, I think I would definitely consider it a very big success, because I have loving parents, I have people around me who really care for me, and things like that. So I think I am personally successful. On the professional side, I still have a long way to go. I am just a fresher, so I am looking forward to it, but I am confident that I will be a success in that also. I would only like to tell that in life, your happiness would depend more on your own self than on your surroundings. Though all the movies and all the advertisements and everything might make you think that your happiness depends on everything else, it depends on you yourself. So I think you should learn to be happy with what you have. And when someone asks you, are you successful, please understand that success is a very relative term. Each person would define them success in a different way. So you have to be happy, and definitely on the personal side, I think for most people, maybe not for all, I think they should consider their life personal success, because in life, overall package only has to be good, not necessarily that everything has to be extraordinary. If your overall life is very good, that itself means that you are one of the privileged few. And if you are sitting in front of a computer and you are able to listen to this, I think you should consider yourself one of the privileged few. So as we end this HR interview sessions, I would only ask you people, those who are listening to this, to send me your comments. My email ID is vreamchasers@gmail.com. V for victory, R for race, DREAMCHASERS@gmail.com. My name is S. Sriganesh, and I am an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. You could see more about me in my website www.dreamchasersindia.com. This is an honest effort taken to help people in whatever way I can. If there were mistakes, I look forward to correcting them. I would also like you to leave your comment on the YouTube page, or send me an email if you found this useful. My best wishes for all of you to live a very happy and good life, and I hope that many of you achieve your dreams. If your dream is to get into a good company, I hope that you achieve it. My best wishes for the same. Thank you very much.